Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. My favorite day of the week. To get refreshed, rejuvenated, renewed, and relaxed for the week ahead. I think many people have tomorrow off, so a lot of people are probably having a long weekend, so I hope that you are enjoying it. A lot of pools open this weekend. Our pool opens tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. And it's the beginning of summer for most people. I think most people consider Memorial Day weekend the beginning of summer. I don't know. In Indiana, we consider Memorial Day weekend the beginning of summer. And in fact, today was the Indy 500. I don't even know who won. Let's look up and see who won. It should be over by now because my husband just called me, FaceTimed me. He's on his way back to our friend's house in their Sprinter van. I thought it was like a party bus, but it's a Sprinter van. Who won the Indy 500 in 2023? Let's see. Joseph Newgarden won the 2023 Indy 500, passing last year's winner, Marcus Ericsson, on the final lap. That was 18 minutes ago, so it must have just ended not too long ago. Anyway, I don't know anything about the racing. I don't know who Joseph Newgarden is, and to be honest with you, I could really care less. I've had a very nice day. I've had a very relaxing day. Boo Radley and I slept in today, and then we got up, and he ran around outside. I need to take my allergy medicine because my allergies are just killing me today. And it's all that like fluffy pollen that's like floating around in the air, I think. But my throat is itching and my nose is like, I feel like I'm constantly going to sneeze. And it's kind of like my nose is itching too. So I need to take some allergy medicine, which I will in just a little bit. I might need to go in a second and get it, which I could then show it to you guys when I take the aloe vera, because it's not habit forming and it doesn't have an antihistamine in it, and you just take it and it melts on your tongue, and it's like they have it in 2 different flavors, I think like mint and citrus. A friend of mine got me started on it years ago, and it's not like a heavy duty allergy medicine. Like my husband has like really bad allergies, and so he has to take like heavy duty allergy medicine. Also, when he's around cats a lot, he has to take allergy medicine. But my allergies used to be really bad like that. They're not so bad. Well, it kind of depends on the year. I feel like this year so far, they've been kind of bad, but they're not as bad as his. So like this allergy medicine works fine for me. And I took it yesterday, and I need to take it today. So I might go inside in just a second and get it, and then I can show it to you guys. God, I'm like, my throat is itching, and I'm coughing, and my nose is itching, and everything. In all honesty, I haven't really been sitting outside a whole lot today because I filmed a drama video. Well, honestly, I was just going to film a vlog today, and then I ended up filming a drama video. I did a review video of the probiotic sodas that I've been drinking because I finished my last one last night. And then I did a Peterisms video, and now I'm vlogging. And I also was doing some cameos that I had gotten behind on. So, God, you guys, I apologize for the coughing and all this kind of stuff. It's just like my throat is like really itching. I might have to move inside if it continues. So anyway, last night, Alex went to bed. I think it was like 10:30 that he went to bed because he had to get up super early this morning. So I was like, well, I'm going to lay down. I think it was like 10. And I was like, I'm going to lay down too and take a little bit of a nap. And then I'm going to get up and I'm going to watch some shows. And I had no clue what show I was going to watch. I really wanted to find something that I could binge watch for the weekend. And so I ended up setting my alarm for like 12. And then at 12, I like woke up with my alarm and I turned it off. And I was like, I'm just going to keep on sleeping for a while. And I woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake. And I was like, I took Boo Radley out and got him back into bed and settled. And then what do you call it? I came out here, and it really, to be honest with you, I put like my heated vest on and stuff because I thought it was going to be like really cold. And this was before I took Boo out. So I put my heated vest on and my Ugg coat and my boots, and it was rather warm last night. So I didn't even need all that. And I think, let's see what the weather is today. It's supposed to be the same as yesterday, like 77, 79. It's been cloudy all day long. It actually kind of looked like it was going to rain. Let's see what the weather is. I kept my heated vest on, though, even though I didn't need it last night. It was warm and cozy. Oh, it's 82 today. 82, feels like 82. Air quality alert. Let's see what this says. An air quality alert has been declared. The officials at the Indiana Department of Environmental Resources have declared an air quality alert for us. Ozone levels are expected to be in the orange or unhealthy for sensitive group for respiratory issues such as asthma, allergies, things like that. Interesting. And then tomorrow, let's see what it's going to be tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow it's going to be 86. And then 89 on Tuesday, 89 on Wednesday, 89 on Thursday, 92 on Friday, 91 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday, 90 on Monday, 86, 80, 80. And then we get some rain a week from Wednesday and Thursday. But nice temperatures. I'm ready for those nice temperatures. So anyway, had my coat on and I had my vest on and everything like that, and I brought out my probiotic soda. I was trying to finish my last two last night. I had like strawberry lemon, and then I had raspberry rosé, which you guys can go watch my review video of what I thought about those. But all the birds are out today too. I love just listening to the birds. I don't know why that makes me so happy, but so I was like trying to figure out what I wanted to watch last night. Well, so when I've been eating, I've been watching Grace and Frankie because it's just a half an hour each. And I don't know how many, is it like the 8th season is out? I'm on the 7th season, like the 5th episode of the 7th season. But I have no idea how many total, let's see, episodes. And I feel like I'm a whole season behind. Oh no, I'm on the last season, so I'm on, and I don't know how many episodes there are, but I am on right now, I'm on this, I just finished the 6th episode, so I have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay, so there's 16 episodes, so I'm watching Grace and Frankie while I eat, but I was like trying to figure out what to watch, and I was talking to Tanya earlier in the evening, and I said something about Saint X, and she's like, I'm so glad that you reminded me to watch that. And I was like, is it really that good? Because I read the book several years ago. I actually think it was like a pick for Peter's Book Club. And I did not walk yesterday. I did not weed my front yard any more than I already had. And my plan was to kind of do that today, and I've just been kind of like, film videos. I think I'm going to relax. I think I'm going to listen to my audiobook. I do think I'm going to try to walk, though, here in just a little bit when I get done with all my videos. I think I'm going to put on my Hokas and actually try to walk because I want to go see the pool. And so that I can walk down by the pool and then go up behind the other part of the neighborhood and then come back around. That's about a 20-minute walk. So I think I'm going to try to do that today at least. I mean, I got to get this started. I keep on saying I'm going to walk and I don't walk. So I got to get this started. So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so I was talking to Tanya, and she was like, have you not started Saint X? And I was like, well, I read the book a couple years ago. Tanya's like, well, I read the book too. And I was like, do you like the show? She goes, the show is really good. And I go, well, is it a thriller? And she goes, it's not really a thriller, she goes, but she goes, I think you would like it. Well, I had started it, and I watched like the first 5 minutes of it, but what I really didn't realize until I started it last night was that all I really watched was kind of like the trailer for it. Like, I thought I had like watched like the first 5 minutes of the show, but I think I just watched like the trailer for it and stopped watching it and was kind of like, I'm not really into this. So last night, I started watching Saint X. Got some iced coffee left. And I binge watched the first 4 episodes starting at 2 o'clock. I went to bed about 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. Alex left here about 5:30, and I was sitting out on my front porch. Well, I actually went upstairs when he was getting ready, and I was like, are you leaving us? And he was like, yeah. He's like, I'm getting ready to go to the go to our friend's house so that they can go to the track. And So, and it's funny because I was texting Melissa because she was posting pictures like really late last night. And I said, it cracks me. And I thought she was up to go to the race because I haven't talked to her in a couple days. And I said, and so I thought she was like up at like 5:30 in the morning posting these pictures. She'd gone to this thing called BlockCon, which I just assumed was in Indianapolis. And it was in Rosemont, Illinois. So for those of you that don't know, Melissa is like a diehard Lady Gaga fan. She's done like meet and greets and stuff. And she is like a diehard New Kids on the Block fan. Like she goes on the cruise and everything every year. She's like diehard New Kids on the Block fan. And she's met all these friends through doing it. So I said to her, I said, she goes, I just got back to the room. And I said, where are you at? Like back to the room. And she's like, oh, I'm in Rosemont, Illinois. And for BlockCon. And I go, oh. And Melissa and Jason are like diehard race fans. This just tells you how much of a New Kids on the Block fan she is. And I said, are you not going to the race tomorrow? I just assumed she was because they always go. Like they're diehard race fans. And she's like, no, not this year. She was like, because it was like BlockCon in Illinois, and she was having, so she was telling me all about it. She was having a blast. But anyway, and then Alex left at like 5:30. His Lyft came and picked him up, and he left about 5:30 to go over to our friend's house, and then they took a Sprinter bus from there to the track. And yeah, he just like FaceTimed me and was like, oh, we're going back there, and then I'm gonna get a Lyft back to our house. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to try to get my Uber, I'm going to try to get my vlog and everything done before you get home. He'll probably, I just fed Boo Radley. It's like, right now, it's like 5:08. I'm sure he will sleep the rest of the night because he's been up so early and, you know, from being really tired and all this kind of stuff. And so it was so funny because he was like in the Sprinter van, everybody's like asleep and like all this kind of stuff. And I said, you're like still awake and everything like that. And he was like, yeah, he was like, I'm kind of totally alert. And he's like, I didn't drink a whole lot today. And he was like, I just like had a really great time. And he was like, it's been fun. And I said, are you tired? He goes, yeah, I'm kind of tired. So he'll probably come home and lay down in bed and start playing Township on his phone and look at TikToks and stuff. And then he'll like pass out probably about 7 or 8 o'clock at night. And I will eat my piata. I don't know if I share this or not, but I got piata and I looked in my refrigerator and I had like 2 sandwiches and 2 pastas, and I ordered more piata not knowing that. And so I had like 3 pastas and 3 sandwiches. So I'll be eating my piata tonight. I don't know if we'll order more or not, because I think they're closed tomorrow, so I might have to order some, so I have some for tomorrow. I'm obsessed with the piata, you guys. Like, I'm completely obsessed with piata. So anyway, I started watching Saint X last night about 2:30 in the morning, something like that. And you guys, it is so good. It is so good. Like, I really, to be honest with you, I did not think that I was going to like it. I'm going to pull you in a little closer. I didn't think I would like it because I don't remember really liking the book. I thought the book was, I don't know why it's doing this. My tripod is like starting to fall down. I remember thinking the book was really slow, and the book was not what I thought it would be. I thought like the whole thing would take place. So it's about this girl, and she's like 7 at the time, and her and her family, her older sister who's a freshman at Princeton, and her parents go to this island. And they don't ever say what the island is, which is Saint X, but it's like a Caribbean island, and they say this resort, and then the older daughter gets like murdered, raped and murdered. And they don't really ever say like where they're at or whatever. But I remember like thinking that the whole thing was going to take place on the island. And it's like all these flashbacks. And then she grows up and she's in New York City and she runs into the person that was accused of the crime. And so she basically is like stalking him, trying to find out, because she wants to find out what really happened to her sister, because there's never been any conclusive evidence or whatever. It's just been a lot of speculation. It actually sounds a lot better than the book. Like, me explaining it sounds a lot better than what the book was. The book was really slow and very dry as far as I was concerned. In fact, Caroline like read it and she like looked back in her Audible and she was like, yeah, I didn't even finish it. I don't remember how the book ends. I kind of think I kind of remember a little bit about it, but I don't really remember a lot of how the book ends. But I can tell you right now, I was saying this to a friend today, the show is better than the book. Like, I am completely taken with the show. Like, I was like, I could have binge watched the whole show. But there's one more episode that's coming out. The final episode is coming out on Wednesday, Which I wish the whole show was out already so I could just binge watch the whole thing and finish it tonight. But whatever, I can wait till Wednesday to watch the finale of it. So I've got 4 more episodes of that to watch tonight. I'm going to watch that, and then I don't know what I'm going to watch. But, yeah, like, I really didn't think I was going to like it. And then I just was so into it. It's so good. The way that they filmed it, it goes back and forth between, like, when they were on the island and, like, a lot of background with her sister, which I don't remember there being a lot of background with her sister in the book. And then the girl, like, the younger sister, she's, like, older and grown up, and, like, her trying to find out what's going on. And then it goes back and forth. It's very interesting. The way they did it. And I was telling my friend, I said, I think the show is better than the book. And he was like, well, that's crazy. He's like, that's never how it is. It's always like the book is better than the show. And I was like, I know. Although I have to say, to this day, I still love the movie To Kill a Mockingbird better than the book. But, which is like my favorite movie of life. I don't know. I also have a lot of childhood memories attached to that movie because of my mom and stuff like that. But anyway, so that's what I watched last night, and I loved it. I thought it was great. And I had to kind of force myself to go to bed because I was like, okay, it's like 6:30 in the morning. It's getting really late. Like, you're never going to get up. Which I actually, we slept in, but I didn't sleep in as late as I thought I would. And so I got up today and was just kind of cleaning the house and making the bed and stuff. So it's nice for Alex when he comes home so he can just rest and relax, and taking Boo Radley out and feeding him and making some videos. So all that. I wanted to kind of, I'm actually getting ready to start uploading my drama video, but I wanted to respond to some of the comments on my video from yesterday. I was reading through the comments. Like, people were asking me things and saying stuff, so I thought, well, maybe, oh God, my glasses are so dirty. I keep this glass cleaner thing right out here so that when I'm watching my shows, I can clean off my iPad screen and I can clean off my glasses. But I thought that maybe I would. Now, I'm not going to respond to all the comments, but there were a couple comments. Somebody said that they had bought their husband this hat for Christmas or something. I don't know where this comment is, so I'm just going to say it. This Gorin Brothers hat that has a rooster on it and it says cock underneath it. But that they don't have this hat, and that their husband said that they really like this hat. Okay, so this is actually the reason I got this hat, which is, like, I don't know if you can see, but it's red underneath it. The reason I got this hat is because this is actually the exact same hat that the guy wears in White Lotus 2. The guy's nephew, he wears this hat in White Lotus 2. And so I loved it that it was camouflage and that it had this on there. I could not find it anywhere on the Gorin website, and which is, like, sometimes Gorin, which is the website, these are Gorin hats, G-O-O-R-I-N Brothers, and they're all called farm hats because of the animals. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll put up hats and then they take them down. They'll sell them exclusively for a period of time, and they take them down, and they're hard to find. So I found this online, I think at Lucky. Is not Lucky. Oh shoot, what's the place called? Darn it. Oh, The Buckle. The Buckle. I think I found this online at The Buckle. And actually, Tanya and I, when we did that shopping video, I don't know if you guys remember that, but we were Christmas shopping. Then we went to, like, Dick's Sporting Goods and stuff. I'm starting to sound like Toddy Westberg talking about Dick's Sporting Goods and Cock Gorin Brothers hats. That's all I'll say. But anyway, we went to The Buckle while we were there, and they have tons of Gorin Brothers hats. And they had ones that I hadn't seen online, which was nice because I could try them on. Because I have to tell you, the one thing that's weird about it is they each of them fit kind of differently. Like, you would think that they would all fit the same, but they don't. So anyway, but I found this one online at The Buckle, and so I ordered it directly from The Buckle. And that was the only place that I could find it. So anyway, I wanted to say that because somebody was asking me about the hat. Paige said, these vlogs the last 4 or 5 days have been so good. I so appreciate the long vlogs and taking time out of the day for us. Love you, Peter. Oh, thank you, Paige. You know, I just want to say, so many people commented on what I was talking about with the LGBTQIA plus community yesterday, and a lot of people talked about Florida, and a lot of people talked about Target and things like that. And I just want to say this. I I was a little hesitant to even get in a video and talk about it because, you know, whenever you talk about stuff like that, you kind of split your audience because it's like, okay, well, people don't necessarily always feel the same way as you, which, to be, in all honesty, was kind of nice because I read the comments and most people felt similar to me. But one of the things that I have to say that I really, really appreciate about this vlog is that a lot of people shared their opinion in very classy ways. They weren't offensive to people. And like I said, I haven't read every comment, so I can't speak to every comment. But the majority of the comments that I saw, people were very classy. People shared their opinions. People said it in a nice way. Nobody really attacked one another. And this is a really good example of where I feel like we can have conversations about things and talk about things and educate one another about our stance or our experience without offending people. It happened in the comment section of my video from yesterday. There's no reason why it can't happen on Twitter or Facebook. You know, one of the things, I was watching part of my vlog back yesterday, and I said this whole thing about like Twitter and whatever. But you know, like, I know people, or I've had people say to me, and they're not close friends of mine, because to be honest with you, like, I wouldn't be friends with somebody. I mean, I wouldn't get rid of somebody that was a friend of mine for this reason, but I don't understand it. I mean, there would be a lot of questions that I would have for somebody like this. But I've had people say to me, I can remember talking to this guy at the casino years ago, and he loved to just, like, get on Facebook and fire people up. Like, he would say, like, well, I go into people's things and I comment things just to piss them off, or I post things just to piss off my friends and my family. And I'm like, it's one thing to post something that you really believe in and that you really stand behind, you know? It's another thing to post stuff just to anger people. Like, why would you want to contribute to that anger? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I feel like we're already enough of an angry society that, like, why would you want to contribute to that? And I feel like I've met a couple people that have kind of said things to me like that through the years. Like, oh, I love to post stuff on Facebook that just pisses people. Why? What enjoyment do you find out of angering other people? Like, I don't get enjoyment over that, you know? I enjoy when people come to me and say, oh, Peter, you're so calming, or, you know, I can fall asleep to your vlogs, or, you know, you've made me look at things in a different way. And the reality is this: there are millions of people in the world that come from millions of different places, that come from millions of different backgrounds, okay? Whether we're talking about ethnicity, sexual orientation, economic, financial background, academic, whatever, poverty levels. I mean, there's so many different backgrounds, different parts of the world, that there's no way that any one of us can truly understand somebody else's experience. And, you know, I said in my video yesterday, like, I've made ignorant comments in the past too. I'm ashamed of them. You know, I'm embarrassed of it. I don't want to be that person today, which is why I've really looked at that stuff, you know. There's no excuse for it. There's no good excuse for having been that way or doing those things, which is why I work so hard on asking other people about their experience. I want to be educated today. I want people to explain to me what their experience was like, or what they've gone through, you know. I mean, like, let's just even take it from, like, a recovery point of view. You know, I know so many people that are sober, right? And our stories are not unique in that we all have a physical craving and a mental obsession with addiction, you know? Most of us, it has taken us to horrible depths, right? That being said, none of our stories are specifically similar to the next person. You know, my story is not similar to Tanya Jean's. Like, her story is completely different from mine. And so every time we talk about stuff, or she'll share something from her past, or I share something, we learn about each other, right? And in talking to my friends about their addiction, their recovery, even just in how they do their recoveries, even though we all work a 12-step program, and people I'm friends with, there's always a different twist or something new that you learn. Or have you ever thought about doing inventory this way or whatever, you know? And, you know, I can remember, like, a lot of the meetings that I go to, this will probably only make a lot of sense to people that are in recovery, work a 12-step program in recovery. because it's specifically talking about inventory. But when you're working a 12-step program, you do a 4th-step, which is a searching and fearless moral inventory. And you go over and you talk about resentments, fear, and conduct. And then in the 5th step, you go over that with your sponsor. You can go over that. My mom did hers with her sponsor, and she also did it with her preacher, or her pastor. And because that was important to her as a person of faith. So, but you can do it, like a lot of people do it with other people. There's people that I've heard that do it in groups. They do 5th-step groups where they share it with a group of people. I don't know that I could feel comfortable doing that. I've never done that. But I do know people that have done that. You know, and then you do a 6th and 7th, which is your character defects. 8 and 9, which is making amends, making a list of amends and making direct amends to people. And then step 10 is continuing to take daily inventory of your life, right? So, and a lot of people consider 10, 11, 12 maintenance steps. I don't necessarily love that word, but that's what they call them. Because like 10 is about taking daily inventory, 11 is conscious contact with your higher power, and step 12 is passing it on basically to other people and being of service to others. And so those are steps that you continue to do on a daily basis. My old sponsor that I had, who's since passed away, well, 2 of my sponsors have since passed away, very much were on the belief that if you continue to do a 10th step on a daily basis, there was no need to do a full 4th step ever again. Like, you didn't need to go back and do a full 4th step because you were doing a 10th step, you were keeping up on that stuff. I then shifted my meetings, and I started going to different meetings in a different part of town, and people were real heavy on inventory. Like, they were talking about, like, they would have road rage, and they would call up their sponsor, and they would write it out, and they would do a 4th step on it. And it completely shifted my perception, right? And there's no right or wrong answer to that. There's no, like, not one person is right or wrong in that. There's just different ways of doing things. But it completely shifted my perspective, and now my sponsor today is somebody that believes that you do an inventory every year. You do a full 4th step inventory to just clear the wreckage of your past every year, because there's stuff that adds up, right? And you do a 10th step every night on smaller issues, because I do a 10th step every single night on smaller issues, and then you do a 4th step to get the bigger issues out, because there may be bigger issues that have kind of added up through the years. So there's just different perspectives, there's different ways of looking at it. But if I had never gone and talked to other people and experienced it, because the people that I was seeing, the people that I was going to meetings with, the philosophy was very similar. It was only when I started going to different meetings and seeing a different way that people were doing things differently. They looked at inventory in a different way. And that's just taking one small thing in recovery and showing that there's many different experiences with how people do it. And like I said, there's no right or wrong. So to assume that we understand from our point of view everybody's life experience from wherever they are, wherever, you know, it's like in To Kill a Mockingbird, when Atticus says you don't really truly know somebody until you've walked around their front porch in their shoes, you know, it's like, and I'm a big believer in that. You don't really know somebody, you know? And to assume that you do, and to assume that you understand their experience or where they come from is really truly the first sign of ignorance, I believe, you know? And I don't even really mean to use, and I do sometimes, but I don't really mean to use ignorance as a what do you call it? A put down. Like, I just mean as a adjective. It is ignorant to assume that you understand somebody else's life experience. How could you possibly? You haven't lived their life. You don't know where they're coming from. You don't know why they do the things they do, or why they feel the way they do, or why some people are offended by some things and other people are offended by other things. You don't know that, right? So that's where I don't understand why we can't just sit down and have conversations with each other and say, I don't understand why you feel this way. Can you explain this to me? I don't understand why you're so heated about this, but other people aren't heated about this. You know, can you explain this to me? Whatever, you know? It was interesting because, I can't even think of the term now. But we had met this couple from the UK. Oh, shoot. What's the word I'm looking for? Okay, so when we were in Cancun, we had met this couple from the UK that we became very close with. We laid out every day on the beach with. We're like still like good Judies with. We messaged them all the time. We like would hang out in the bar after dinner with them and stuff like that. We loved them, right? And so we were sitting there one night and they were talking about Brexit. And I said, I had to look it up. And I didn't, like, I've heard a lot of people talk about it, but I didn't know what it was. And I said, this is like a huge deal in the UK, right? And they were like, oh yeah, it's like a huge deal. And so we were like asking them, and they were educating us. And I said, well, like, how do you feel about it? Like, what's your stance on it and whatever? And they were kind of like telling us, and they were telling us like, you know, some people feel this way and some people feel that way. And, you know, like our parents feel this way and whatever. And it was very interesting to hear somebody's perspective. And not that we couldn't have talked to somebody else that was from the UK that would feel a completely different way and get their perspective, which is why I think that conversation and having different conversations with people is so important to get their life experience about things, right? And then not to say, well, you're right or you're wrong. How can somebody say that to somebody when what you're doing is you're saying, like, I'll never forget this. I'll never, ever forget this. Tanya and I went to a meeting. I mean, this has probably been the first year that I came back going to meetings. It stopped. I don't even know how I got on talking about this, but this is probably 7 or 8 years ago. 10 years. I think it's been 10 years since I started going back to meetings. This is probably 10 years ago. Tanya and I went to a noon meeting that I was going to a lot at the time. And I will never forget, we were sitting around this table. You do not crosstalk in 12-step meetings, okay? And what that means is, like, if somebody's sharing, you don't stop them. You don't, like, cut in place. Like, you go around in order, okay? Or somebody raises their hand, or there's different meetings or different ways. Like, some meetings, like, they pass a ball or something, but, like, you don't interrupt somebody, right? You also don't say, like, there's a bug on the top of the camera. You also don't say, I don't agree with you. Okay, because all we're doing is sharing our experience, strength, and hope. So you wouldn't look at somebody and say, like, directly in a meeting, like, that's cross-talking, okay? You wouldn't look at that person and say, I disagree with you, or what you shared is incorrect, or what you share is wrong, or whatever. If you had an issue with what somebody shared, you go up to them after a meeting and you would say, this is what I was taught, you go up to them in a meeting afterwards and you would say, I'm confused as to why you shared that, or do you know that what you shared kind of goes against principles of 12-step programs, or blah, 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 you know, whatever. And when I was in early recovery, I had people that came up to me and said that, and I've said that to people, and it's just educating people, you know. But you don't interrupt somebody or contradict them or crosstalk them or whatever. There's like ants crawling across the camera. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't see them on the table or anything like that, but there was like one on top of the camera and there was one on the screen. But anyway, Tanya and I were in a meeting, and I honestly don't even know what she was sharing about, but it doesn't matter. When she got done, this woman started talking, and she was like 6 down from her, and like she wasn't even the next person to share. She just like spoke up, and she said something to the effect of like, I completely disagree with what Tanya was saying. I thought Tanya was going to come out of her seat. And Tanya looked at her and she goes, excuse me? She said, are you disagreeing with my life experience? She goes, I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope. You can't disagree with that. That's my experience, strength, and hope. And this woman challenged her and said, well, I'm just sharing that I disagree with you and I disagree with your stance. And Tanya said, I'm sharing my experience, strength, and hope. You can't challenge that. And Tanya looked at the chairperson and said, are you going to allow this to happen? Like, this is not how we run 12-step meetings. Like, this is, you don't challenge my experience, strength, and hope. You know? And so, I just wish in our world people were more willing to have conversations with each other and allow each other to share their opinions, you know? And I read through the comments last night or today, because I didn't even post my vlog until like I got up at like 2:30 in the morning. It was so funny because somebody said something the other day. They said, oh, Peter posted his vlog so late, because I posted it like 6 o'clock in the morning, and they said, so he must have gone to bed really late. No, I went to bed really early that night. That was the night that I went to bed at like 9 or 10, and I don't even remember what time, but I woke up at like 6 and couldn't fall back asleep. That was why I posted it so late. I can remember I was like laying there in bed, and every time I would wake up, I would be like, I need to post that vlog. Oh, I'm gonna sleep for 5 more minutes, and then I would fall asleep, and it'd be like an hour and a half I wake up. But anyway, you know, it was evident to me on the comments of the vlog that we are able to have open-minded conversations with each other and share our experience and not be offensive to one another. If that can happen in the comment section of a video on YouTube, why can't that happen in the real world? What are we so afraid of by hearing somebody's life experience? Why are we so afraid to hear somebody's opinion and not be like, you know, it was a lot of people on there said, well, I feel like people take it really personally when somebody disagrees with their opinion. I completely 100% agree with you. I do. I think we hold so close to our opinions based on our personal experience that we say, like, you know, like, If you disagree with me, then you're disagreeing with my personal experience. But then that's the point where it's like, you say to that person, and this is where I think social media has cut out the ability to do this, because you're only being able to share in very short periods, right? Like a sentence or 3 sentences or a paragraph or whatever, right? But when somebody disagrees with your opinion and you take it personally because it feels like a personal attack on you because of whatever they're sharing, you know, like your opinion is based on personal experience. And so when they disagree with you, they go, oh no, you're wrong. You don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, okay, well, what you're saying is that my personal experience is wrong. That's the point where why can't we have conversations with each other where we say, well, let me explain to you that my opinion is based on my personal experience. I'm sure yours is as well. Can we talk about it? Can we share a personal experience with each other? Like, I just don't understand why. I feel like I used to, back in the day when I was drinking, when I wasn't drinking, I got sober, you know, my friends and I would get together and, you know, exes of mine and things like that, and whether I was drinking or drinking coffee, and, you know, we'd smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes and light a bunch of candles and a fire, and we'd sit around and we'd talk for 4 or 5 hours and have intellectual conversations and share experiences with people and share, like, well, this is what I went through. Why are we so afraid to do that today? Why do we always have to be right? You know, why do we always have to be right with our opinion? Why is it so important that somebody is right with their opinion, you know? I read so much on Twitter and online and stuff, and I just read it, and most of it I think to myself, I don't even know enough to comment on this or talk about it. I don't even know that I really understand what they're talking about, much of it, you know? But it's like, I feel like everybody wants to have an opinion about everything that's going on, but they want to be right in their opinion, instead of educating themselves and maybe having to admit, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I didn't have a full understanding of what somebody goes through or what their experience is like or whatever, you know? And I'm not saying that there's not, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? He's like cleaning out his car or something that's like buzzing. You know, examples to the contrary where, you know, it's like, okay, that I'll agree with something, but there won't be something, a part of that I don't agree with, you know? Because there's always like a part of something that I don't agree with. Like I think most people, but that's where we can have conversations about that, you know? It's like, that's where like Tanya and I will have conversations about stuff, and I'll say, well, I don't understand this and this really upsets me, and she'll say, well, I totally understand that you feel that way and I get it, except for this. And I'll say, well, that totally makes sense to me that you feel that way, blah, 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 whatever, you know? And then we'll talk about it, and she'll say why she feels that way, and I'll share why I feel a certain way, and then, you know, and I'll say, oh, I never thought of it that way, or she'll say, oh, I never thought of it that way, you know, and we educate each other, and we learn from each other. But we're willing to have those open conversations. Like, I'm not really sure why so many people are afraid of doing that today. I really don't understand it. I don't. I want to see what some other people's comments were. So Hassie said, I buy Pride t-shirts for my nephew and he will only wear it at home. He was just scared and he is young, 18 years old. I totally understand that. We love him and all respect him, but his mom worries that others will not accept him for who he is. That was the same with my mom. She felt the same way. He loves all the stuff, and for Christmas I get him extra stuff, face products, and just things that are for him. And when I see his face, it makes me smile that he knows he is loved by all of us. And I just want to say I think that's fantastic. I'm so thankful that I had parents, my Aunt Janny, my Aunt Kathy, when I was growing up, that allowed me, and not only allowed me, but embraced who I was, you know? And I think the most important thing was that they didn't make me feel any different for who I was, you know? I don't know. I love listening to the birds. Makes me so happy. Oh, I was going to read some other comments. Alexa said there are several types of alopecia. Areata, which is autoimmune, androgenic, postpartum, traction. Ballerinas sometimes notice a receding hairline due to wearing tight buns all the time. Okay, which is really interesting because the kind that my mom had was areata, okay? Which, if Alexa hadn't posted this on there, is interesting to me because she said areata and in parentheses, she said autoimmune. Which, for those of you that don't know, my mom actually passed away from an autoimmune disease that was based in vasculitis. But she had alopecia, I mean, 14, 15 years before she got sick, which makes me wonder now if she didn't have signs or symptoms of an autoimmune disease long before she got sick. I mean, I don't, to be honest with you, I'm just doing guesswork because I don't know the relationship of alopecia related to, what do you call it, to, I thought my mom had the stress-related one, but I remember her talking about having alopecia. As soon as she said areata on here, I was like, oh, that was what my mom had. I remember my mom talking about that. And I feel like that's the alopecia that's like all over or something like that. But that could be wrong too. I don't know. So I'm just kind of guessing, but it's so weird to me that my mom had alopecia areata, which she says is an autoimmune disease or autoimmune alopecia. And then my mom died of an autoimmune disease. It makes me wonder if my mom didn't have autoimmune issues like much of her life and just didn't know it. I mean, I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? Okay, Kayla said, you pay $10 for the door pass, or Dash Pass, this is for the DoorDash, Dash Pass, but then you don't have delivery fees on most places as long as the order is $12 and up, which I can promise you. Unless you're getting Taco Bell or White Castle, it's going to always be $12 and up. I mean, DoorDash is expensive. But I also want to say something, and I don't know who commented this the other day, but somebody said something about, like, DoorDashers are notorious for spitting on your food or something like that. Okay. Just because I know there's somebody in my vlog that is a DoorDasher because they said something about being a DoorDasher, I want to clear this up. I cannot take away other people's experiences. I don't know if other people's food was spit on. I don't know if there's TikToks out there of DoorDashers showing that they're spit. I don't know what evidence there is. All I know is I've ordered a lot of DoorDash at this point. In the last month, I've probably ordered it 30 times. When you get your DoorDash, your bag, which is usually a paper bag from whatever place you ordered it, okay? Like Piata comes in a paper bag. First of all, they take a picture. I can show you right here. Hold on, let me see. So like, they take a picture and they show you like your bag being dropped off. Now, I don't know if you can see this, but on the bag, they fold the receipt over the bag and they staple it, okay? Let me see if I have another one to show you guys. Here's another one. This one they actually had in a DoorDash bag. So, but when your order comes, I think everything that I've gotten has come in a paper bag so far. Comes in a paper bag. They wrap the receipt over the bag, okay? And then they staple the receipt to the middle of the bag, typically. That one was on the side. But then they staple the whole bag across. Then inside, typically most of the food has labels over it. So I don't know how anybody would get into your food to spit in it. I'm not saying that it hasn't happened. I'm just saying, like, you would have to very carefully open the bag, re-staple it for someone not to know that that had happened. And I've never had a bag that has been messed with that way. And I'm just speaking to my experience. Because I don't want people to be like, oh, like, I'm not going to order it because my food was going to get spit in. I don't know. Like, my food always comes very, very warm. Tanya said her food has come cold. My food has always been pretty warm. And unless it's like a cold sandwich, which comes cold. And I always get like forks and spoons, plastic forks and spoons and napkins and stuff in there. And they always put like a menu in there. I mean, they're very courteous. And then it's always very well put together. I will also say, like, the average DoorDasher that I get is probably 30 to 35. I don't think this is their only job. They're very nice. I typically meet almost all of them. Like, those two, like, were the only two that I haven't, like, met at, because I was inside watching RuPaul's Drag Race the other night with Alex. Was that the night that they dropped it off the door? And then there was something else. I was doing something, taking a shower or something the other day when the other order came. But other than that, I always go to their car and I meet them and tip them and stuff like that. And then they're so friendly, right? They aren't people that I would guess are spitting in your food. Like, they're typically like 30, 35. They seem pretty professional. They're very friendly. They're very nice. I haven't met anybody yet that seems rather sketch to me. And I'm not saying that they're not doing it, but like, I don't know how they would get into the bag when the bag is like stapled over like 8 times and take the receipt off and put the receipt on. I mean, that just seems like a lot of work to spit in somebody's food that they don't even know. I'm just saying. It's just my experience. I'm just sharing my experience, strength, and hope. So I don't know about all that. But I am going to do the DoorDash thing like Kayla said. So thank you, Kayla, for that. I appreciate it. Oh, Ashley said, we had our piata last night. It was so good. Thanks again for mentioning it. Stacy, who started part of the book club, she hasn't been able to come to the book club, she said in another comment because she's been busy lately and stuff. But she said, I know I've commented a lot, but please keep up the work of putting yourself out there. You have come so far. Please keep us posted on walking and pickleball. Summer is here. Let's get out there, friend. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. Oh, this was the comment. And this was from, God, my glasses are dirty again. Because see, I pick them up on my... Sarah said, I think as a culture, we take someone disagreeing with us as a personal affront and challenge. People are angry, scared, and don't feel heard or like they matter. I think that kind of fear and hopelessness leads people to do irrational, hateful things. I'm trying to mind my business and be more... I'm trying to mind my business more and be kind. That way, hopefully, if you're an ass towards me, my kindness will act as a mirror to you, and you'll see how sour you've become as a person. Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Peter. And the only reason I say that is because I think we often need to be shown a mirror of who we are when we're not being, you know. I can tell you that many times when I've been shown a mirror in my life, it's been a wake-up call where I've been like, well, I don't want to be that. If that's who I am, I don't want to be that person, you know. So... Oh, here it is. Carrie said, I ordered that hat for my husband for his birthday. He's a different one from you, but he said he liked the one you were wearing. Well, you can get it at the Buckle. Mandy said, what is Alex texting me? They are still stuck at the track. He just sent me a picture of them in the Sprinter van, and they're like stuck at the track. They're like not even out of the gate yet. You can see, here are all the bleachers for the race, and everybody's gone, and they're like still stuck behind this like car getting out. They're still at the track. Which the track, oh, he's texting me back. I said, oh my God, are you guys still there? I talked to him like, when did I talk to him? 4:39, so over an hour and like almost 10 minutes ago I talked to him, and he is still at the track. Over an hour, we've been sitting in traffic this entire time. Aww. He is going to be so exhausted when he gets home. See, this is why I don't do the race thing. Like, it's just not worth it to me to be stuck in that traffic. I can't remember the year he went with Sarah. She was, she and he, like, they walked, like, down to some restaurant and tried to get an Uber. And it was, like, 3 or 4 hours before they got an Uber. I mean, thank God that he's, like, in a Sprinter van, you know, and it's comfortable. I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And he said, I know. I miss my husband. He was so excited this morning. He had his little checkered flag overalls on and his red hat and his Cascade hoodie. He said I probably would have been home already if I would have walked. I said, LOL, Boo's flying in with a helicopter to get you. Little Boo Radley. He's going to fly in on his helicopter and get Alex because he wants his dad home. I just told Boo Radley earlier. He's so sweet. Oh, I love my little guy so much. He was like, when I put him at my videos, and I'm sitting at my table, my desk, he comes up and puts his little paws like right on my leg. And I said, you're going to be, he loves to go upstairs to the bedroom, which kind of worries me a little bit because this is what Pee-Pee did when Pee-Pee got sick. Like, he would go up to the bedroom all the time and just be in bed sleeping. Like, he never really wanted to, like, come down and be with me anymore when I was filming videos. And so it kind of worries me a little bit that Boo's sleeping so much. Except for that when he's, like, outside, he still runs around and everything. So he must be fine. But so I said to Boo, I said, now your dad's going to come home and he's going to want to sleep all night, which means you're going to get to be in bed with your dad. And he's like, looked up at me. He's so sweet. Little guy. He'll get to be in. I can't believe I've gotten 4 videos done today, including this vlog. Well, this vlog's almost done. I don't know when it'll be done. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I might want to vlog a little bit more. But I can't believe I filmed 4 videos and he's still not even home yet. It's almost 6 o'clock. It's 10 till 6. Judy said, Peter, can you show photos or videos of Alex on the dance team during high school? Okay, I will have him send me something. He actually just, I feel like he showed me a video the other day. So I will go in. I will go in and I will try to find it. Or I'll go in and ask him to send me some pictures or videos or whatever, and I'll show them to you guys. He said please for Boo Radley to helicopter in. Somebody commented on my video called Upcoming Plans. This is Haya, and she said, she or he said, I was talking about, I think, Gossip Girl, and I was talking about, like, Penn Badgley being Gossip Girl in it or whatever, and I said, I don't want to ruin it. It's only been out for 15 years, and they said, ha, I'm dying at that. He said, I need to get the F out. He's so over it. I bet sitting in the car. Everybody in the car was, like, sleeping except for him. He's probably so ready. It was interesting. So, Koei said, by Target escorting people out instead of arresting them, then removing Pride merch, it opens the door for other corporations to not display inclusive product or of threats from the public destroying their merchandise, which might result in less inclusivity in general. We need more volume to our voices, or they might just be snuffed out. And I think that's a really interesting statement of what Koei is saying, because I think that, and I totally agree with that, by catering to that to some degree and not standing their ground. Well, first of all, I personally, in all honesty, I don't understand why any store, I don't care if you're a grocery store, I don't care if you're the pretzel place at the mall, I don't care if you're an Orange Julius, I don't care if you're Walmart, I don't care if you're Dick's Sporting Goods, I don't care if you're a shoe store, I don't care what you are, okay? If somebody walks into your store and starts destroying property and destroying displays, why are you not having that person arrested for vandalism? Like, I don't care what it is. And I don't care if it's for, you know, Christmas. I don't care if it's for whatever. Like, why are you escorting that person out and not arresting that? What you're doing is you're enabling that and saying more people can come in the store because we're not going to arrest you. They need to be arrested, okay? Like, I'm a believer in consequences. You need to be arrested and shown that if you're going to continue to act this way. Like, I watched this one video. Apparently, this video is from like 2 years ago. And the guy's like, do you want me to call this? It was like loss prevention security guard. And he was like, it was the guy that like found out later that he was like on the DL gay or whatever. And the security guard was like, do you want me to call the police? And he was like, yeah, you can call the police. And he starts like calling him on the phone. Then he puts the phone down. I'm like, why are you not calling the police? Why are you escorting this person out of your... Why are you not calling the police? Okay, this person damaged property in your store. Like, if somebody came in there with a sledgehammer and took out a cash register, are you telling me that this person wouldn't be arrested? Are you telling me that if somebody came in there and, like, took out a mirror in the bathroom, that person wouldn't be arrested for vandalism? Okay, but it's Pride merchandise, it's Pride displays, and so Target doesn't want to disrupt anything, so they escort the person out, even though they have vandalized property. Baffling to me, okay? And I'm saying this. Whether it's Pride merchandise, whatever it is, like, I don't understand it, okay? And yes, you are opening the door to other companies and other corporations not being inclusive because they're so afraid of the outcome, right? Instead of standing up and saying, no, if you're going to act this way, you're going to get arrested and you're not going to be welcome in our store, you know? It's like all these TikToks of these people acting like fools up in airports, and then they wonder why they're put on no-fly things again. They can never fly again on any airline, whatever. Well, they should. You know, if you're chucking stuff at the employees that are just working their hard jobs at these airlines and you're pissed about something and you're mad about it and you're yelling and you're screaming and you're throwing stuff at the employees of an airline, you shouldn't be able to fly again. That's a safety hazard to the airlines and to an airport. You shouldn't be able to fly again, and they're mad about that. If you're destroying property in a store, you shouldn't be allowed to come in that store again. Period. End of story. I don't understand it. It's baffling to me, you know? And it is like people are like catering to the hatred a little bit. It just is baffling to me. I love this. Chicago Girl said, the Max HBO stuff is beyond silly. Thank you for saying it. It is silly. It is totally silly that you, okay. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you have HBO Max, okay, that was the old app. They're no longer HBO Max. They're Max, right? Which means you have to delete your app and you have to download you have to delete HBO Max, and you have to download Max, okay? But then when you go into Max to sign on, you basically just sign on, whether it's through your cable provider like ours is, or whether it's because you pay for the app, you sign in that way, or whatever. But then it just pulls up your, what did they change by calling it Max versus HBO? Because now they're going to have television shows on it, because now they're going to be like Peacock or something. They're not just HBO, but they're Max. They're going to do all kinds of other things. I'm so confused by it, but I think it's so stupid that they did. I mean, and I have to tell you, like, I'm not very technological, so it was very confusing to me to go in and even, like, have to change this stuff. I don't even really understand what I'm doing. Like, can somebody explain this to me? Like, I'm confused, you know? Laura said, Boo Radley's poop is little, and then she laughed. Well, his poop is little. His poop is real small, you guys. It's like that big. Like, he might poop like 3 little turds like that. That's it. Like 3 times a day. His poop is real, he's a small dog. He's real small. Lisa, oh, she said, it's Lisa. Okay, because she's got it spelled out in her, I love that you have that, because I don't understand half the time how people will say their names. She said, I had no idea there were high school sororities. I wonder if that's just a regional thing. I don't know. Actually, it was funny because when I was talking to that woman yesterday that went to my mom's high school that didn't know her, I said my high school, oh, by the way, I remembered what the sorority was called. It was called Cutie Pie. I don't know how. I was like inside walking around and I was like, kitty cat, Prissy Kitty, what was it called? And I was like, oh, Cutie Pie. It was Cutie Pie was my mom's sorority that she was in Broderpool. But when I was talking to her about it, I said something about my mom being in a sorority. And she was like, oh yeah, Broderpool had like several sororities. And North Central, where my cousin went, they had several sororities and fraternities. They had like academic fraternities and sororities, and they had like what do they call it? Social sororities and fraternities that did like the dances and things like that. So it was, you know, I don't know why some did and some didn't. Now, where I went to high school is just as big as where Caroline went to high school. I went to Carmel, she went to North Central. We were kind of rivals. We didn't, that I'm aware of, we didn't have sororities or fraternities that I'm aware of. So, but there's a lot of different schools that do. I have no idea how they figure that out. Caroline Ann said, I will be watching the Indy 500 after I finish watching the Monaco. Okay, this is so funny. So, the F1. My neighbor across the street, I was talking to him yesterday when he was grilling out. He was grilling out pork tenderloins, and he was showing me his green egg and how he grills it out and how it smokes it. Everything. He was showing me all of that, right? So, I said, are you going to watch the Indy 500 tomorrow? And he goes, well, I might listen to part of it on the radio, which is what they said it yesterday when they were walking. The woman that knows my mom, or didn't know my mom, but went to the same high school. She said they might listen to it on the radio. Everybody's been saying they might listen to it on the radio. But he said that, but he goes, but I am going to get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to watch, like, the first hour of the Monaco F1, and I go, I don't even know what that is. I guess it's like a race, too. And he said that it's just really cool to see, like, all the cars and the water and all the people. They're, like, super dressed up and stuff like that, so. Nikolai said, did you get your neighbor her tree yet for doing my front walk? Because I told her that I would get her a banana tree. So, no, I have not. In fact, she has 3 banana trees, and I said to her probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was like, I still need to get your banana tree. We were going to go to the nursery together, and she said, well, I don't need another banana tree. And she goes, and I don't want you spending your money. Don't do anything about that anyway. And I said, oh, no, I'm doing something. And so I told her, I said, I want to get you a gift card or something like, what's your favorite nursery? And she said, Peter, please do not do that. She was like, it was my pleasure to do whatever. But there's a nursery that's right up the street from us. It's really nice, and I know that she gets a lot of stuff from there. So the next time that Caroline and I hang out together, which I think is going to be on Thursday, depending on like the weather, because we're going to go to the pool and stuff, I've got a couple other errands to run. People keep on telling me they've sent stuff to my P.O. box I've got to pick up. So I want to go to the nursery and get a gift card so that she can go get stuff from there. So she can pick out her own stuff. So that's the deal with the tree. It stopped while I was reading comments. Mrs. B said, oh, I use Olaplex too, Peter. It doesn't smell great, but it does a really good job on making my hair look nice and shiny, which, you know, is so interesting. So Caroline's the one that got me started on Olaplex. She actually bought me the bottles. They're just little bottles. But when we were at Ulta, this was months ago, she showed it to me. And she was like, I love this shampoo. It's like my favorite shampoo and conditioner. And that was when I bought it. And it is super expensive. It's like $30 a bottle. She got me the sample thing. It's like shampoo, conditioner for like bonding, repair, and then not like bonding, like weaves. It's like, or extensions. I don't, it doesn't mean that. I like read the whole back of it. It's just like repairing your hair if you have like damaged hair, which I don't have damaged hair. So, but anyway, it's still nice shampoo and conditioner. But then it comes with like a spray bottle, little spray bottle of like detangler and stuff like that, which Alex can use. And then it comes with like a leave-in mask that you can leave in. I don't usually use those because I always forget to use them before I get in the shower, but I might use it. So anyway, but you know, so many people have said things to me about the smell of Olaplex, but I have to tell you, like, I have never noticed that Olaplex smells bad. Like, I don't notice that at all. I notice it doesn't really have any smell to it whatsoever. But I will say that I really, really like the condition that it leaves my hair in. You know, I find that like conditioner sometimes, and you know, my ex was a hairstylist and he would say, you're not supposed to condition your hair every time you wash your hair. You're really only supposed to condition your hair like every 3rd time or something like that. Was it shampoo or condition? I think he said you're only supposed to condition your hair like every 3rd time. I don't remember. Maybe it was shampoo. No, that can't be right. Must have been condition. But anyway, so like, but like a lot of conditioners leave my hair feeling really filmy. Like they have a lot of buildup on it, and I don't like that. That, was it Bumble and Bumble? I really like that shampoo and conditioner, but it's very expensive too. It didn't leave me feel like I had a lot of buildup. Well, I mean, all the shampoos and conditioners that I'm mentioning are expensive. I like the Aveda, what's it called? Not the rosemary mint. I think that's one of them. The Shampure. I love the Shampure shampoo and conditioner. I just ran out of the conditioner, so I only have the shampoo left. I need to get some more of that, but I love the smell of it. But I only use it every once in a while. From Lush, I use Fairly Traded Honey and Veganese, and I have to tell you, those are probably 2 that make my hair feel the softest and the cleanest. And then the other one, who, like, Jaclyn Hill used to talk about it back in the day, which is why I ended up getting it, and it's the only silver shampoo that I have ever found that actually works for my hair and like really like takes out like the dull tones and whatever. I've used the Blue Malva shampoo from Aveda. It doesn't do it. I've used so many different shampoos and conditioners that are supposed to like take out the brassiness and like really just leave your hair like shiny silver. The only one that I've ever found that actually works is the Oribe Silver, and it's like $40 a bottle, $45 a bottle, but it lasts a really long time because you only have to use like a dime size each for shampoo and conditioner. It lathers up really, really well. And I really, really like that. But I just ran out of the conditioner, and so I only have the shampoo left, so I've got to get some more conditioner of that. But I've been, like, trying not to, like, buy a bunch of stuff. I actually... There's a pair of Birkenstocks that I want to get. You guys want to see them? They're so plain. I think people think I only wear, like, plastic Birkenstocks like these. These are just the ones that I wear around the house because they're so easy. I love the plastic Birkenstocks, but I have worn leather and suede Birkenstocks for years and years and years. I mean, my first pair was a pair of green suede Birkenstocks. So I love the leather and suede Birkenstocks. Hold on. Okay, so this is the pair of Birkenstocks that I want to get. There's this gay couple that I follow on Instagram called PJ and Thomas, I think. They like do like house like renovations and stuff. And they're in Greece or Spain right now. And one of them, I think PJ had these on, and I really like them. They're just kind of like a taupe colored suede Milano sandal. The Milano is the 2 straps. So I'm thinking about getting those. They're 130, but I mean, they'll last me all summer. I'll continue to be able to wear them like, you know, year after year. Plus, I've been wearing like a lot of neutral colors, and so those would go great with like a pair of jeans or a pair of khaki shorts or jean shorts in the summer. So I'm thinking about doing that. But I just ordered there's this is it Birdwell, I think Birchwell? Birdwell, I think, is the brand. And they have corduroy. They're like, a lot of their clothes look like 1970s kind of clothes, like surfers kind of clothes. And Birdwell is the brand. And they have these shorts that are corduroy shorts. I'm obsessed with corduroy. I love corduroy. And so they have these shorts, and they have them in like navy blue, light blue, charcoal, a couple, like 5 or 6 different colors. And I had a friend of mine back in the day that he had gotten a pair of, from like the thrift store. And I think his brand were like Hollister or something. This was like 10 years ago. But it was a friend of mine, a recovery friend of mine. But he had gotten a pair from like a thrift store of these like light blue corduroy shorts that were kind of like longer. These are shorter. Like these are like mid-thigh that I got. But I always loved these. He would wear them a lot, and I always loved these like light blue shorts, and so I wanted a pair of light blue corduroy shorts ever since. I've never been able to find a pair. I have 2 pairs I got at Target of green corduroy shorts that I should pull them out and see if they fit, because they probably would fit now. I gotta go down there and see. I've got a bunch of clothes in the basement that I boxed up that it probably would fit now. But anyway, so I ordered those, and then I also ordered this brand of suntan lotion. I got 30. I got the oil and I got the lotion, and it's called Vacation. Do you guys know this brand? I see it on Instagram a lot. And then I also got the 2 chapsticks for summer. One is Baked Alaska, and the other one is, because I used to love that dessert, and the other one is Bananas Foster's, and I thought, both desserts, but I thought that would be kind of like Bananas Foster's. I thought that would be kind of like fun chapsticks to have for the summer. They actually had a coconut spray for your face that I thought I had ordered until I like finalized my order, and then I realized I hadn't. But they have a lot of good deals on there, although their suntan lotion is expensive. I got the oil and the lotion. Both of them are 30 SPF. I got them, and they were both like together like $39, and the chapsticks were $5 each. So I didn't think that was too bad. The coconut spray, which I really wanted, I guess I could go back and order it, but I think it was $12. The shorts were expensive. They were like $85. I felt kind of stupid ordering them, but I was like, I really, really want these shorts. I've wanted pairs of shorts like this for so long, and they're really, really cute. So I don't feel too bad about getting those. Yeah. I don't know. My battery's at the halfway mark, so I don't know if it's going to continue to go or not. Pull up to the bumper, baby. I'm a brand new limousine. Do you guys like Grace Jones? I love Grace Jones. Is she problematic? Can I say that I love her? I feel like you can't say anymore if you love somebody, because then somebody's doing some exposed video of some, you know, rock star from the 1980s that you didn't even know that they had done something problematic, and then it's like, oh, I love this person. It was just Stevie Nicks' birthday the other day. But I feel like I can't even say anymore, like, I'm so afraid to get on a video and say, like, oh, I love, you know, Grace Jones, because then somebody will be like, Grace Jones is problematic. Do you know that she said in 1972, blah, blah, blah? I'm like, well, I didn't know that, but I like her music. And do you guys know that they're coming out with another, I think it's coming out this summer. What's that Harrison Ford movie? Raiders of the Lost Ark. They're coming out with another Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. I mean, what is he now, 92 or something like that? Don't get me wrong. That was bad. I mean, don't get me wrong. I got no issues with Harrison Ford. I like him. I'm not... Is he still with that Callista Flockhart? I'm not a big fan of hers. Actually, it's interesting because... So, our family friends... that were like in the room when my mom passed away, and she's the one that makes the stuffing, and that we all love her stuffing and whatever. They're like super wealthy, but like you wouldn't know it by meeting them. And they have a house, like a house, not like just like a, you know, a little bungalow or something. They have like a house in upstate Michigan, like on the lake. And their next door neighbors were Harrison Ford. It was like in this really small exclusive town. Caroline's been there. She said it's absolutely gorgeous. But their next door neighbors were Harrison Ford and Callista Flockhart. And, but then I think they moved or something like that. Or didn't they get divorced? Or I don't know. I don't even know if they're still together. Really don't care. Don't know, don't care. Honey Badger don't care. Can you even say that anymore? Honey Badger don't care. I don't know what you can say and what you can't say. I don't know who you can support and you can't support. I don't. I'm afraid about singing certain songs, you know. Because if you sing certain songs, people say you shouldn't sing that song. That song's problematic. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that it was problematic. Could you guys give me a list of all the songs and all the people that are problematics from my childhood so that I would know, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I know Roseanne is, like, don't get me wrong. Somebody posted something the other day about, like, they're renewing the Connors for, like, the 6th season. I was like, is that show still on? Like, I thought they did one season and it was a one and done and they canceled it. I didn't realize that show was still on. And I haven't watched it all these years. I can't co-sign the ignorant statements that Roseanne has come out and said at all. And so I've lost a lot of love for her, in all honesty. At the same time, I can't imagine watching the Connors without Roseanne. Like, it just doesn't even make sense to me, like, why you would want to watch that. It's not the same show. You know? When she got canceled, I don't even think... I need some more ice. I know this is real strong now. When she got canceled, I don't think they should have even continued doing the show, you know? That's just my opinion, but whatever. And I have a lot of friends of mine that are diehard Roseanne fans too, like Melissa, that don't watch the show anymore because of all of that, you know? I mean, we'll watch the reruns of the Halloween show and stuff like that, but like, we're not watching the Connors. And I can remember calling her and she's like, yeah, it's just, I can't do this. But anyway. Alright, you guys, it is flashing red, which means it is about to die, and I'm not going to go in and get my other battery today because I vlogged for an hour and a half yesterday and an hour and 11 minutes and 49 seconds today. So, 3 days of long vlogs over the weekend, which has been nice. I'll probably do another long vlog tomorrow. We're just hanging out all day. We have no plans tomorrow whatsoever, so be a nice day to just relax and hang out. And, yeah, and the pool opens tomorrow, so if it's warm enough, I might be running up to the pool for a swim with Alex or something. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday and getting rested, relaxed, rejuvenated, and refreshed for the week ahead. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. And remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. A Sunday evening is a perfect time to do that. Just to text somebody and be like, hey, I just wanted you to know I was thinking of you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face. You might be changing their day for the better. You might be giving them some hope. You might be making them not feel so all alone, you know? I think back on my mom, and you know, there so often she felt so alone, and she just loved to get a phone call from me or anybody else, and she'd be so excited, and she'd call me and she'd be like, guess who I heard from today, you know, and she'd get so excited. So you never know, you might just be really lifting somebody's spirits by just reaching out to them. It takes very little time and effort, you know. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves a little bit more. It all starts with us, right? And all starts deep down in us. We have to first love ourselves before we can love somebody else, right? First be a value to yourself before you can be a value to somebody else. And, yeah, and that's it. And I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. And for those that need to hear it, and those that want to hear it, and those that just happen to stick around, I almost forgot those 3 things. 1 more, 2 more, 3 more, 4 more, 5 more, 6 more, 7 more. I love yous. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.